You've made it already this morning, haven't you? That cup of coffee or that pot of tea, sitting right there next to your breakfast or already half gone. It's one of the most reliable, comforting rituals of the entire day for millions of us. It's the thing that makes getting up worth it. Here's what nobody has told you. It's not the coffee that's the problem. Coffee, it turns out, is one of the healthiest things most of us drink. I'll show you the research on that, and it's genuinely good news. It's not the tea either. It's the timing. Because of a quiet bit of chemistry that almost nobody explains, drinking your coffee or tea at the wrong moment, specifically right alongside your meal or right on top of certain pills, can rob your body of things it desperately needs after 60. It can block the iron that keeps you from feeling exhausted and foggy. It can interfere with a medication that millions of older adults take every single morning, quietly making it work less well. And you'd never feel it happening. There's no bad taste, no upset stomach, no signal at all. The really maddening part, the fix costs nothing. You don't give up your coffee. You don't give up your tea. You change when you drink it by a matter of minutes, and everything changes. So today I'm going to show you exactly what's happening in that cup, the 3 specific ways the wrong timing works against you after 60, and the simple new routine, free, easy, starting tomorrow morning. That lets you keep every sip and lose every downside. Let's start with the one that affects the most people. I'm Dr. Adrian Hale, and this channel runs on one rule. I give you the honest version. And the honest version here is going to surprise you twice. Once with a problem you didn't know you had, and once with good news about coffee that the old scare stories got completely wrong. Before we start, I want you to picture your own morning. Actually picture it, because we're going to check your routine against what the science says as we go. Ask yourself, do you drink your coffee or tea with your breakfast? Same time? Same table? Do you take any pills, a vitamin, a thyroid tablet, a supplement around the same time as that first cup? And is that cup the strong stuff, a proper mug of black coffee, or a good strong brew of tea that's been sitting a while? Keep your answers in mind, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which small change matters most for your routine. All right, here's the chemistry in plain English. Coffee and tea are both loaded with natural plant compounds. The ones in tea are called tannins, and coffee has its own family called polyphenols and chlorogenic acids. Now, these compounds are actually part of why coffee and tea are good for you. They're antioxidants, they fight inflammation. That's the good side, and it's real. But these same compounds have a second habit. In your digestive tract, they grab onto certain minerals, iron especially, and bind them up into clumps your body simply cannot absorb. The mineral goes right through you, unused. Your gut never gets it. And they do the same thing to certain medications, wrapping them up so your body takes in less of the dose. Here's the crucial part, and it's the whole reason this video exists. This only happens when the coffee or tea is in your stomach at the same time as the food, the mineral, or the pill. Timing is everything. Same cup, drunk at the right moment, does no harm at all, and still gives you all the benefits. It's not what you drink, it's when. Let me show you the 3 ways this plays out, starting with the one that leaves the most people quietly exhausted. Here's the first and biggest one, and it explains a symptom a lot of you have been blaming on age. Your body needs iron. Iron is what carries oxygen in your blood to every muscle, every organ, and your brain. When you're low on iron, you feel it as exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, as brain fog, as feeling cold, as being short of breath climbing the stairs. And after 60, low iron and anemia get more common, not less. A lot of older adults are running quietly low and have no idea, and they chalk the tiredness up to just getting older. Now here's where your morning cup comes in, and the numbers are genuinely striking. There are 2 kinds of iron in food. There's the iron in meat, poultry, and fish. That kind is fairly protected. But there's another kind, the iron in plant foods. Your beans, your lentils, your spinach, your whole grains, your breakfast cereal that's been fortified with iron precisely to help you. That plant iron is the vulnerable kind, and it's a big part of what most of us get. When you drink tea with a meal, it can cut the amount of that plant iron your body absorbs by 60 to 70%. Some studies put it even higher. Coffee is gentler, but still serious, around 35 to 40%. Read that again. You could eat a perfectly good iron-rich breakfast, a bowl of fortified cereal, some whole grain toast, and then wash most of the iron straight down the drain with the very cup of tea or coffee you had alongside it. The food delivered the iron, the timing threw it away. And here's the detail that makes this land for our age group specifically. It gets worse the stronger the brew and the longer it steeps. That mug of tea that's been sitting, getting darker and stronger while you potter around the kitchen, more tannins, more iron blocked. The gentle, milky, quickly made cup does less. The strong, long steeped one does more. Now, I promised honesty, so here's the reassuring boundary. This is mainly a concern for the plant iron, and mainly if you're already prone to low iron. If you eat plenty of meat, your iron is better protected. But given how many older adults lean toward lighter, more plant-based eating and how common quiet iron shortfall is after 60, this is worth taking seriously. And the fix, which I'll give you in full shortly, is almost insultingly simple. Just move the cup. Before that, let me show you number 2, because this one is about your bones. Number 2 is quieter, and it matters enormously after 60 because it touches the thing that keeps you independent, your bones. As we age, and especially for women after menopause, bones gradually lose density. That's the road toward osteoporosis, toward fragile bones, toward the broken hip that we've talked about on this channel as one of the great enders of independence. Calcium is the raw material your body uses to keep bones strong, which is why so many older adults make an effort to get enough the milk, the yogurt, the cheese, the calcium supplement. Here's the connection to your cup. Those same tannins and compounds in tea and coffee can interfere with how well your body takes up calcium too. Again, when they're in your stomach at the same time. So if your habit is a milky tea or a latte, or if you take your calcium supplement with your morning coffee, some of that calcium may be getting bound up and passed through instead of going to your bones. And there's a second, smaller wrinkle worth knowing. Caffeine itself, in large amounts, causes your body to lose a little extra calcium through the kidneys. Not a disaster, but for someone already fighting to hold on to bone density and drinking 5 or 6 strong cups a day, it's one more small leak in the bucket. Now the honest balance, because I don't want you to panic and pour out your latte. For most people getting reasonable calcium, a couple of cups of coffee or tea a day is not going to wreck your bones. The effect is modest. Where it matters most is if you're already at risk for osteoporosis, if your calcium intake is on the low side, or if you're routinely taking your calcium supplement with your coffee. In those cases, this is a real and easily fixed leak. And the fix, once again, is timing, separate the calcium from the cup, and the problem largely disappears. That brings me to number 3, and this is the one that surprises people the most because it's not about food at all. It's about a pill. This is the sleeper, and if it applies to you, it might be the single most important thing you hear all week. There is a medication called levothyroxine. You might know it as Synthroid or by other names. It's a thyroid pill. It replaces a hormone your thyroid gland isn't making enough of, and it treats an underactive thyroid, which becomes much more common as we age, especially in women. And it is one of the most prescribed medications in the entire world. In the United States alone, there are over 80 million prescriptions for it every year. There is a very real chance that you, or your spouse, or a friend at your table takes this pill every single morning. Here's the problem almost nobody is told at the pharmacy. That thyroid pill has to be taken on an empty stomach, and it needs time genuinely alone in your stomach to be absorbed properly. And coffee interferes with it directly. Studies have found that having your coffee too close to your thyroid pill can cut how much of the medication your body absorbs by around 30 to 36%. Think about what that means, a third of your dose potentially lost, not because the pill is weak, not because your thyroid got worse, but because you washed it down with or right after your morning coffee. And the consequences aren't dramatic and obvious. They're the slow, creeping return of the very symptoms the pill is supposed to fix. The fatigue, the weight creeping up, the low mood, the cold hands, the brain fog, all quietly blamed on age, when the real culprit was the timing of a cup of coffee. The fix, thankfully, is beautifully simple, and I'll put it in the plan. Take the thyroid pill with plain water when you first wake, then wait 30 to 60 minutes. Do your morning things, get dressed, then have your coffee. That gap is all it takes. But here's the hard rule, and I mean this seriously. Do not change how or when you take any prescribed medication on your own based on a video. Not even this one. What you do is bring it up with your doctor or pharmacist. Say, I've heard coffee can affect how my thyroid pill absorbs. Am I timing mine right? That is a 5-minute free conversation, and it could be the thing that finally explains why you've been feeling off despite taking your pill faithfully every day. Ask the question. Let them confirm the plan. And it's not only thyroid pills, certain other medications and supplements, iron tablets especially, have the same issue with coffee and tea, which is exactly why "what should I not take my coffee with?" is such a good question to ask your pharmacist. They'll know your specific list. Now I have to stop and do the thing that separates this channel from the fear mongers. Because if I left it there, you'd walk away thinking coffee is the enemy. It absolutely is not, and you deserve the whole truth. For decades, coffee had a bad reputation. People were told it was hard on the heart, a guilty pleasure at best. That old story has been turned completely on its head by modern research, and it's some of the most consistent evidence in all of nutrition. Studies following millions of people over decades have found that moderate coffee drinkers, and moderate means roughly 2 to 4 cups a day, tend to live longer and have lower rates of some of the biggest threats we face as we age. We're talking lower risk of heart disease, of stroke, of type 2 diabetes, and even links to lower risk of cognitive decline, depression, and frailty. One large review found moderate coffee drinkers had roughly a 15% lower risk of dying over the study period, and estimated it added close to 2 years of healthy life. Both regular and decaf showed benefits, which tells you a lot of the good comes from those plant compounds, not just the caffeine. So let me be completely clear, because this is the honest heart of the whole video. Coffee is not something to avoid. For most people, it's a genuinely healthy habit. The point of everything I've told you is not to drink less of it. The point is to keep every single cup and simply move it a few minutes away from your iron, your calcium, and your pills, so you get all of coffee's real benefits without the one hidden downside. You lose nothing and you gain everything. Tea, by the way, has its own real benefits too, particularly for the heart and blood vessels. So the same spirit applies. Keep your tea, love your tea, just mind the timing around meals and medications. Now let me give you the simple routine that makes all of this automatic. Here's the whole solution, and none of it asks you to give up a single sip. It's all about spacing. 5 simple habits. 1. The golden rule. Put a gap between your cup and your meal. This is the big one, and it fixes the iron and most of the calcium issue in one move. Aim to drink your coffee or tea either 1 hour before a meal or wait about 1 to 2 hours after eating. In plain terms, for most people, have your morning cup when you first get up and let breakfast come a bit later, or finish breakfast. Then reward yourself with the coffee once you've cleared the plates. The research is clear that even a 1 hour gap dramatically reduces the iron blocking effect. 1 hour. That's the entire fix for the biggest problem. 2. The pill rule. Water first, coffee later. If you take a thyroid pill or an iron supplement or a calcium supplement, keep your coffee and tea well away from it. For the thyroid pill, water when you wake, wait 30 to 60 minutes, then coffee. For calcium and iron supplements, an even bigger gap is better. Take them at a completely different time of day than your main coffee. And say it with me, confirm your exact timing with your pharmacist because they know your specific medications. 3 eyes go easier on the steep and the strength, especially at meals. Remember, the effect scales with how much of those compounds are in the cup. A lighter, quicker brewed cup blocks less than a strong, long steeped one. So if you do want something with your meal, a weaker or milkier cup is the gentler choice. And there's a lovely trick here for tea lovers. Herbal teas that aren't true tea, like rooibos, peppermint, chamomile, ginger, have far fewer of the iron-blocking tannins, so they're a friendlier companion to a meal. 4. The vitamin C helper. Here's a bonus that works with your body instead of against it. Vitamin C powerfully boosts iron absorption and can offset a good chunk of the blocking effect. So building a little vitamin C into your iron-rich meals is smart. A few strawberries, some bell pepper, a squeeze of lemon, a small glass of orange juice. If you love your coffee near breakfast, pairing the meal with some vitamin C is a gentle way to fight back on the iron front. 5. Keep your coffee to the morning and keep it moderate. 2 to 4 cups is the sweet spot the longevity research keeps pointing to. That's where the benefits sit. And there's a bonus for your sleep, which matters more than ever after 60. caffeine lingers in an older body longer than it used to. The research on longevity actually links morning coffee most strongly to the benefits. So, a good rule is to take your last cup by around midday or early afternoon. Your bones, your iron, your medications, and your sleep all quietly, thank you. Timing your coffee is a small, smart habit. But if you've been feeling a certain way, don't just fix the coffee and leave it there. Some of these symptoms deserve a proper look. Ongoing exhaustion, weakness, breathlessness, or looking pale, that could be genuine iron deficiency anemia, and it deserves a simple blood test, not just a coffee adjustment. Ask your doctor to check your iron and your blood count. You take a thyroid pill and still feel tired, foggy, cold, or your weight is creeping up. Bring up the coffee timing, but also ask whether your dose and your thyroid levels should be rechecked. Don't just assume it's the coffee. You're worried about your bones. If you're past menopause or you've had a fracture from a minor fall, ask your doctor about a bone density scan. Coffee timing is a small piece. Your overall bone health is the bigger picture. Any new medication, make "what shouldn't I take this with?" including coffee, tea, and supplements, a standard question at every pharmacy pickup. It's the single best habit for avoiding these hidden interactions. The coffee timing is the easy win. But real, ongoing fatigue or thyroid symptoms are worth a proper conversation. The cup is one factor, not the whole story. So here's where we land, and it's genuinely good news. You don't have to give anything up. That's the part I love about this one. There's no sacrifice, no bland substitute, no willpower required. The coffee you love is, for most of us, a healthy friend, linked to a longer life and a sharper mind. The tea you love has its own gifts. Nobody's taking your cup away. All I'm asking is that you move it. Give it a little room. Let it sit an hour apart from your breakfast and a good stretch apart from your pills. Add a little vitamin C where you can. Keep it to the morning. That's the whole thing. A few minutes of spacing that let you keep every ounce of pleasure and benefit while quietly protecting your iron, your bones, and the medications keeping you well. It's such a small change, but small daily changes, repeated over years, are exactly how you protect your energy and your independence into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. You've been doing this ritual every morning for decades. Now you get to do it in the way that actually loves you back. 2 things before you go. In the comments, tell me 2 things: your age and your honest morning routine. Do you drink your coffee or tea with breakfast or apart from it? And do you take any pill at the same time as that first cup? I read every single one, and I already suspect a lot of you are going to have a small, "oh, that's me" moment writing it out. That's the point. And if someone you love takes a thyroid pill, a husband, a wife, a parent, and they've been feeling tired and foggy no matter what, please send them this video. Just point them to the part about the pill and the coffee. It's a free 5-minute conversation with their pharmacist that could genuinely change how they feel. That's a gift worth sharing. Every study I mentioned is linked in the description, including the ones showing coffee is good for you, because you deserve the honest, full picture, not half of it. Next week, the one drink most people over 60 reach for, thinking it's healthy, that may be quietly working against them. Until then, enjoy that cup. Maybe just an hour from breakfast. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you then.